Hey, I'm Mark Rothman, Progress Coach, and thanks for checking out this video about shame. You know, shame is the idea not that we made a mistake, but that we are a mistake. And if you watch this video to the end, I think you'll get some really clear, tangible ideas about how you can change that very dangerous thinking and just treat yourself better. So check it out. Shame grows out of the idea that we need to punish ourselves when we make a mistake. It begins when we turn our frustration inward and take it out on ourselves. We turn to this self-flagellation because we stop thinking that we made a mistake and start thinking we are the mistake. As with guilt, shame revolves around something regrettable we've done. Shame and guilt relate to each other the way cancer cells relate to healthy cells. Shame is the cancer, the abnormal cells mutating out of the healthy ones. Left untreated, both cancer and shame can kill us. If you want to understand what shame costs you, you might want to check out my video, Do You Defeat Yourself? Want to stop? And if you like it, go ahead and hit like. Thank you. When we've erred, the steps to addressing our mistake are clear and functional and move us forward. We acknowledge the mistake, we do whatever we can to correct it, and we move on with the sincere commitment not to repeat it to the best of our abilities. But shame loops back on ourselves. It reminds us of the mistake and continues to punish us for it, regardless of any reality. Others may completely and sincerely forgive our mistake, yet we cling to it. There's a dark joke that explains this. What's the difference between us beating ourselves and someone else beating us? The other person stops. In our shame, we don't know when to stop berating ourselves. We learn shame very early in our lives. Our parents react negatively to our mistakes or misbehavior, and we can't separate their attitude about the behavior from their attitude about us. During the mentally primeval time of early childhood, we think of ourselves only, and we conclude that there must be something wrong with us. We literally do not have the mental functioning to see any other perspective. Thus, we can't frame or interpret our parents' reactions in any other way. We can't see that our parents may just be providing a simple correction. We can't determine when they overreact, or when they may be misplacing their own unresolved feelings about their lives on us. We certainly don't have the self-awareness to reframe how we feel, to remind ourselves that no matter what we just did, we remain worthy of love. As we grow and mature, we can make great progress caring for ourselves, both physically and emotionally. But we can also remain infantile in some reactions, including the way we foster our own shame. Because we can't read minds or see into other people's hearts, we can't really see or hear the way other people struggle with their own imperfections, with their own mistakes. But still we compare ourselves to them, seeing our bad insides next to their good outsides. We conclude once again that we must be imperfect, we must be the mistake. Fortunately, the same maturation that now allows us to provide for our own food, shelter, and clothing, and that enables us to sustain or assist our coworkers, our friends, our partners, our children, can also help us reduce the times we shame ourselves. We might need to begin incrementally, acknowledging that in spite of our sense of ourselves as a mistake, we are not entirely a mistake. In fact, we may possess something correct and right. We contain a tiny spark of good inside us. At the very least, we can understand that the universe doesn't make junk. It did not make a mistake in making us, in making you, in making me. Next, we can take the step to see that though we made mistakes, mistakes result from actions. They do not determine our core value. We can begin to think of a border, a kind of firewall between the results of our actions and the inherent quality inside ourselves. We can begin to understand that a good self can take an incorrect action that may not bring about the results we intended or hoped for. And we can do that honestly and sincerely. I recently made a costly mistake, and you might find out how I dealt with it. Check out my video, Mistakes, Errors, and Moving Forward. And if you like it, go ahead and hit the like button. Thanks. Furthermore, Once we can disconnect our core value, our self-worth, from our mistakes, we stop being blinded by our shame. We can't feel shame and a sense of our own worth at the same time. Without some sense of our own validity, every error can become an excuse for our own self-punishment, rather than an opportunity for learning and growth. We can become so involved in our self-criticism and beating ourselves up that we don't spend any time in self-examination, and this may be comforting in a strange way. As painful as it may be to feel shame, we take comfort in its familiarity and in our ability to control it. Whenever we try to change, we may have to give up that sense of control over our feelings, even if they're difficult and painful feelings, and we take a risk. We know how shame feels. We don't know how we will feel if we behave differently, and this may terrify us. Once we take the micro step of separating ourselves from our mistakes, we begin slowing the oppressive growth of shame. We've found a treatment for the cancer that could overwhelm us. Our mistakes no longer poison us. We may continue to feel the pain of guilt as we acknowledge our actions, but we can now use that guilt as a spur to move forward with our lives. We can own our mistakes, initiate sincere efforts to correct them, and make an honest commitment to avoid repeating them. Guilt can move us forward, but shame keeps us stuck, and staying stuck, well, that's a shame. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you haven't yet, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Hit the like if you liked the video. Definitely leave a comment. I really like replying and knowing what you think. And then you can find a link below to my website, markcoach.net. On Instagram, I'm Mark Progress Coach, and Facebook is Mark Rothman Progress Coach. And I'll see you in the next video.